I'm just surprised nobody. Okay, so it's 7:03. Let's call our February meeting to order. This is President Andy. So we're here with President-elect Alicia and PDG Will Miller. So we will start our meeting, or at least attack some of the things that we can do from all three of us. And if we have our members come on, and those who are committee chairs and so forth and so on, we can get to them. So why don't we go, and at least for the record, I know we can talk about membership, we can talk about the citation, and maybe if some people come on, we can talk about the pets, we can talk about the budget and the bylaws. And do we have a speaker today? I saw a name. Do we have somebody coming on?
The speaker's next week.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, Ray.
Hey, Alicia.
Okay, Ray's here. So that's
Everybody.
Okay, so we have all four of us. We'll let Ray get positioned in his beautiful gray and rust polo shirt. Looks very dapper over there.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I see Ray with all his citations behind him. Very important. Okay, so Alicia, you want to turn it over to you, and you just want to go down the list, and we can attack some of these things, and maybe some of our Rotarians will get on the call. I know we're recording it.
Okay, so we're starting with the committee reports. I had the foundation report first. Do you have any?
No, I've been running periodically some articles on the weekly meeting. I just did one this last week, sort of fanciful, but they pertain to the, trying to urge people to go log in and donate to the Rotary Foundation.
Okay.
Good. How's that working?
Don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure people are reading it. I've done this. I think this is number 3. I have a couple more ideas.
All right. Well, we can attack them all. Go with number 1, and we'll go down the list like H&R Block.
Yeah.
Okay. The next was Treasurer Linda. Actually sent her apologies. She's in Atlanta at a meeting this evening, so she could not join us. She's done a great job, though, keeping us posted on the board thread with the monies. And thanks to her and Robin, I have a budget that I have posted on the thread for consideration and discussion. And I just did that this afternoon, so we can go over that, either on the thread or phone calls if there's any other comments on the discussion. Membership, that's you, dear.
Membership? Yeah.
Membership.
Can you all hear me all right now?
We can hear you wonderfully.
We
Okay. Because I just raised my voice significantly.
We're in trouble.
Yeah. So membership, we're except for the resignation of Stacy, I think we're stable. I have been reaching out. This is the 4th reach out to Pope Peterson, former member of Pinellas Park, who I'd really hoped would join us, and she had applied, but I have had no communications with her in spite of all my efforts. So she's either out of the country or she's been abducted by aliens. So at any rate, I've done as much as I can. Yeah, I've done as much as I can do there to reach out to her, but I have some ideas on going back to some alumni, maybe some former members, and in particular, I want to hopefully by the end of the year have developed a newsletter item for the district newsletter that talks about the E-Club, all of its advantages. It basically promotes us throughout the whole district. And I think that may garner a few people. Alicia and I do that when we go to various meetings. So I think that's one way for us to get some additional folks, in addition to those that just, naturally roll in through searching for E-Clubs. So that's, I think that's about it on membership.
Well, as you're working on that, maybe just a suggestion. I know through the years, and you probably did this years ago too, but district governors and AGs and whatever, when they have the meetings with presidents members who want to leave, or could be anything from monetary, wanting to leave, this or that, they suggest they go to our E-Club or another E-Club or whatever. Maybe we could get sort of a database, or maybe a list or whatever of those people, just so they don't go in the wayside, and maybe contact them. Sometimes they get to us, sometimes they don't. Like you say, you're calling some previous people, but maybe there's some kind of list, or some kind of list we could get or make up for those kinds of people, so they don't leave Rotary. Maybe they try us first, number one, but number two, it has to be a good fit. Just because somebody is leaving a club, it could be in for different reasons, and maybe not reasons that we don't want to deal with. They could be a member in bad standing or things like that. So I'm just thinking some of the people and who might be good, instead of going through the cracks and maybe even leaving Rotary altogether. Maybe we can get a crack at and have them come to one of our meetings or something. Just a thought.
Yeah. The district automatically sends out a letter to every terminated member saying exactly that. Sorry to see you leave. Hope maybe you find another club. But if your Terra clubs basically don't meet your needs, please look at the E-Club. So that's part of the boilerplate letter that is automatically sent out to everybody.
But could we somehow, could we be CC'd on that, in a sense that maybe there's a way we could follow through with them? Because just because they send out the letter to them doesn't mean they're going to reach out to us. So maybe we could reach out on our own. Do you think that could make me?
I can check to see if that's possible. And also, I mean, there is a way to pull up every terminated member from every club. It's a very laborious process for an individual to do, because you have to go to all 49 clubs and pull up their membership and only look at terminated members, and then scan through and see what the most recent ones were. There's got to be an easier way to do that, and I can research through our district, maybe through our district membership chair or our new area membership chair. So okay. I can look into both of those, Andy.
Yeah, and as I said, Will and Alicia, just because they're leaving, we don't, we talked about this a long time. Not everybody's going to be right for an E-Club.
Right.
And again, maybe because they're leaving, maybe in some regards, maybe they should leave Rotary. I mean, maybe for whatever reason, they don't like it. They're not getting their money's worth. They're moving on. Life changes. So I know some people we can save, some people we can't. So
right. I think we need to be selective, and so that's what I've been trying to do as membership chair.
Right. Awesome. And again, also trying to get those younger crowd, and obviously women, which we want more women for Alicia. Right. She goes, yeah. Those, and I know those score big points, with Rotary, obviously, those two categories, getting those young millennials and Generation Y and so forth, and women members and so forth. So maybe those are some things that I know we're looking into, but that's the hardest nut to crack, I think. But moving forward, but I get a lot of people like online, they're just, for younger people and busy people, this is really the way to go, I think. And I think we'll for a while. Alicia, you were saying something?
Yeah, I think people just need to warm up a little bit more to the idea
Yeah.
of getting online, not just posting a Facebook. But yeah, we'll work on it for sure. Okay, vocational service, that's me, but I'm actually going to turn it over to Robin. He was the one person who nominated a vocational service award recipient. And how's that going? You have a date to unmute yourself?
Okay, yeah, we have the candidate. We just need to get the award presented, and it's tentatively fixed for the 25th, depending on a couple of people being there, and that's fluid. It could go out another week or two. Once it's done, we'll get some pictures and post them. Interestingly enough, at this morning's Cordova meeting, there was a guy talking about a local first responder who has developed a presentation on first responders dealing with autistic kids in an emergency situation, because autistic kids apparently don't respond to normal conversation and instructions and whatever. There's a way to do this, and apparently this guy goes all over the country on his own time, training first responders in the things to do and to avoid and whatever. And I said, man, he could be a candidate for a vocational service award. So I asked him to get me his bio, which he promised. And anyway, I'll see him again next week, and we may have another one. It doesn't have to be February to do it.
No.
I just hope he doesn't kind of pinch it and do it for his own club. I said it would be a neat club sponsorship. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. So that's vocational service. Just while I'm on, attendance, we're waiting on a bunch of recalcitrants to report in. And some I know are active, and I usually put them in because I know they're doing something. But
Right.
that really is no excuse for them not reporting, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I sent out a reminder yesterday, and hopefully we'll have some more response. And of course, it closes on Sunday.
Okay.
And that brings
two of our new members about reporting, because
yeah.
I noticed neither David Montford nor Alphonse had reported.
That's right.
Do they know how? They know how, right?
Yeah, they've reported before.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we talked about this, and Alicia, I know you're working on it, but maybe there's something. I know Robin and I, we talked about this for years.
It's been a constant problem.
We can't break that 80-something level.
But there's something else, in today, I know this may go against the grain for people that are deeply steeped in Rotary, and I'd apologize in advance for it. But at this stage, really, is attendance that important? Do we need to be beating people up over something when they're actually doing good in the world?
And the RI board has modified their policies, and the answer to that is no. We don't need to be beating them up for attendance if they are otherwise doing good work and letting us know about it. But part of the problem is not letting us know about either attendance or any good work.
Yeah,
of course. The
problem is that for our e-club, we don't know who's attending and who's not attending.
Yeah.
In a standalone club, you would know. I think I've said before, there are a couple of standalone clubs in Brevard County who do not believe that attendance is a big thing, and they sort of ignore it. But on the other hand, they pretty much know who's showing up and who's not showing up.
Yeah.
And of course, attendance is one way of getting the service hours.
Yeah. So a question in the future, Will, Alicia, as we're thinking about these bylaws and whatever, how does attendance play into that, or does it?
Well, it's not per se in the bylaws. It's really up to the individual clubs now as to how they view attendance. What is most important is service, either community service or international service. And those two things are one of the measures of whether you have a functional club or not. That word functional club or effective club is one of the things that a governor looks at if he's considering terminating a club.
Good point.
Well, we know, like David Mumford, one of the reasons he joined our club is because he was so busy working with the Rye community that he didn't have time to go to a Terra Club. So I don't know about Alphonse, but and then Liz Fields, we know she is Rotary. She's Camp Florida, so
That's definitely service.
Yeah.
Like I put, if Liz reports her that, I put her in as being there because she's eating and drinking and sleeping. Rotary, that's about the size of it.
Right, and that
she's got other fish to fry, and that's fine. And she promotes us when she's out there. We know it.
Yeah.
Right.
And David Croner looks at Rotary. Look at his kind of history there, which blew me away when I saw it. And he is promoting Rotary out there.
And he usually pays a year in advance too.
Yeah, well, there you are. Yeah.
So I think that's all important, and I think it's important how we effectively look at this, because it also can scare people away, even people that we have and are good. Can scare them away. So kind of have to tread with a soft stick, I suppose, sometimes. And like you say, if they're doing stuff for the club and getting involved and going to other meetings and whatever, why pound the stick?
Know what they're doing out there in the community or internationally.
Right. No, I agree.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Rob.
So the next thing on the agenda is club programs. That's Ashley's bailiwick. She's been doing a good job though, doing that the way. I really had fun with that cloud that she posted this week. Finding the words, the 3 words at first. And it was really interesting. I took that and everybody's response, and it really is a telltale sign of how we as individuals look at things, where we start, where we look next, everybody was different. So it was fun. Okay, we'll just go right into old business, and I'm going to turn it back to Will for the club bylaws.
All right. I have sent the final revision of the club bylaws, and just to refresh your memory, the board had voted to approve the bylaws that we had been tweaking and peaking over the past couple months. The board had approved those bylaws. We sent them out to the membership for comment. We got a few comments back, and the one not a significant change, but the one minor addition I highlighted in yellow, which was doing the budget. The board shall produce budget in consult with the president-elect. And I said, without objection from the board, I will go forward and do another final smooth copy and send that out to the membership. So if that's agreeable to everyone here, I will be authorized to do that. How does everyone feel on that?
And I just, just for discussion, and I know several of us in the room, it's probably been a while, but when you go to pets and they're asking you, you know, budget and for next year and whatever, that's very important, because I remember, I think one year calling up Robin, or when I was the president of my former club, calling up the president and say, you know, I'm not sure about this. What do we have? And blah, blah, blah. So I think that's really important. And certainly everybody thinks in the database. So yeah, I think year to year, we need to give the PE, or wherever it is, early enough, that authority, and let them go in there and look at that and print it out and go through it, because that really comes up a lot in a lot of the meetings. You know, with the certainly when you sit down really with the AG, with your area AG, as dictated by the governor, and they're going to go over that with you, and they want answers before you leave. It's like buying a car, okay? Before you leave this weekend, you know, what's your answer? So, you know, they want it in writing, you write it down, you give it to them. So I agree, I think that's important. They should have that information early on. And again, if they have any questions, they can talk to, you know, to the board or the president or whatever. But I think that's an important item that I think they need in their pocket.
Okay.
You all agree? I think
Can we, are we prepared to take a final vote on these bylaws so I get them out to the membership?
so. I'll propose that we open, we close discussion, open this up for a vote.
All right, I'll move that that the bylaws be approved as amended.
Okay, so who's gonna?
Alicia
We have first
seconded.
and second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion.
Yeah, the only caveat, and I think I've said this before, Andy, really important to get the new bylaws onto Club Express.
Okay.
I believe it's under documents,
Yes.
and we've had instances in the past where we have not had the current bylaws. So it's really important, I think, to post those to Club Express.
Yeah.
So how?
Bylaws on Club Express right now, I think, are dated 2018.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that, but I know that Robin does.
We can walk through it.
Yeah, Robin
Okay.
does.
Good.
Yeah.
In
So
fact,
we can get
Robin, if you can walk through that with Alicia and me, then I'll know how to do that in the future too.
Okay.
Yep.
Great, Ray. Thank you.
And we can get that done in the next day or two, right? So we'll have that up there. Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Good.
Next item.
Rotary citation.
Yay.
We need to get, what do we need to get in there?
All right. Well, we have the only goals that we have in there are the foundation goals, and we do not have a member.
Can't hear you well.
Can't hear you.
Okay. All right. The only goals that we have in the RI system are the foundation goals, and we do not have a committee, a membership committee with 5 members, and we don't have a foundation committee with 5 members. So they are 3 things major things that we're lacking to even be considered for the citation.
Well, I think there are 5 of us here, but I think we should be co-opting some people from outside of the 5 of us.
We have some.
We could plug the gaps, but I think there should be some fresh blood in there.
Yeah. Now this is for 2020.
That's for this year.
Yeah.
For this year.
Okay. So we need to do that. We need to do that obviously sooner than later. I mean,
Yep.
Pretty quick. All right.
Well, we should try to nominate people now and approach them and twist their arms to fill in, to volunteer.
Can we put that up? Can we just nicely put it up on Saturday, asking for volunteers for these 2 committees, and to please step up and sign up? Do it that way first, and then go and call them and do the rest?
Well,
What do
I
you think?
think in connection with that, maybe you could also indicate that the president exercises the option to appoint
Mm-hmm.
if we have insufficient volunteers. I'm somewhat cynical and pessimistic about getting enough volunteers. So you may have to end up just appointing people, Andy.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'd
The
like
other
to point,
thing that we know that works pretty well is that a one-on-one conversation with somebody is, hey, you know, Bob, I really need your help. I'd like you to serve on the foundation committee, or Sarah, I'd like you to serve on the membership committee. I can take care of asking people for membership.
and what's the other committee?
Foundation. They're the
Okay.
two committees
You-
for which we have to each have
You want me to,
people.
you want me to call up people for the foundation? You do the other one?
I can take care of membership.
Okay. You want me to do foundation or do you recommend somebody else? I can't hear you. Alicia?
Go for it.
What'd you say? Go for it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
See if you can. And I will post it on the thread. I will go ahead and ask, and I'll
Okay.
see if I can't put a nice little twist on it and you know, nice positive twist, and see if I can't get some response. I've been happy to see that we've had a couple people on the thread that I haven't seen before. So more, you know, I think more and more people are looking at it. So we'll kind of have to hit it from several different angles. It's not just one way is gonna, I don't think, will be as productive. So yeah, that'd be great.
And, you know, just moving forward, I mean, because my year is almost over, but you, Alicia, you know, some clubs do, you know, for their Rotarian of the Year, you know, sort of like building up points for it. I know sometimes we have a Rotarian with a lot of points with Paul Harris Fellow. They kind of donate that. And then that person who's, you know, sign up for all this and doing that, maybe the Rotarian of the Year, we could give away maybe one Paul Harris Fellow. And that's a great way, a great incentive to attract some of these people to really, you know, bust their whatever and do a lot of work, because they're really going to get something nice out of it. And not everybody can afford it.
Right.
So just a thought, you know, again, I don't know who, I know we have a couple people with, you know, +2, 3, 4, and we might have somebody who might, you know, like to do that. So it might just be something to think about, maybe more in your year, Alicia, but I just think that could be good. I know on-ground clubs do that. And a lot of people do step up because, you know, it's another way to be a Paul Harris Fellow.
All right.
Leave Rotary citation. Andy, has Governor Allen?
He hasn't. No, he hasn't. I've emailed him twice. I even emailed him to come on the last call. So maybe I'll try to do it through Karen, but I haven't had a good luck to reach him.
Okay.
Or him to get back to me.
Yeah, because I mean that's the citation, the presentation of last year's citation. That you know, that might be some incentive to members and recruiting and that kind of thing. I mean, we don't even have a citation to photograph and post anywhere, right?
Right.
Yep.
Now, did he give that out to all the on-ground clubs or anything yet? Was that given out?
He has given it out. Alicia and I talked to him at a meet and greet, and he said that he was, rather than give it out at a big ceremony for everybody, he was going to each club.
Okay, right.
That, and he was somewhere in that process. I have no idea how many he's done.
Let me email Karen. She's pretty good at getting back to me, and let me find out. And I'll say I tried to reach Governor Allen, and could we set up a, you know, an online, you know, kind of meet and greet where, you know, where he would give out the award to us, and it'd be a great way to get a lot of our members, because this is big time. You know, we haven't gotten this for a little while, so I think it would be great. And then we can see it, have it posted. So I will email Karen tonight and try to get from the governor when we could do this. He'll probably want some dates and times. You know, obviously Tuesday or Thursday is usually good at 7, but I can get some dates and times. Alicia, I'll share them with you. You let me know what you think is good, and then we can blast it out and keep on reminding people that if they attend one meeting this year, it needs to be that one. So I'll work on that. I'll email her after the call tonight.
Okay, great.
Yep, that sounds good.
New
Okay,
business.
so we will go right into, we'll go right into new business. I've got pets first. I've been working diligently on pets every week. The committee sends out a newsletter and homework, and so
Good.
I've been busy preparing.
Are you getting all A's? A student,
Yeah,
right?
well, it's some of it I've already actually had done prior,
Good.
so that's good. And I'm learning a lot just from doing the homework. I keep thinking it's going to be interesting being an e-club president, and you could probably vouch for this, Andy, that a lot of what they are telling you or that you're working on is really geared more towards the
Yeah.
terror clubs.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? But they listen to you when they ask you. There are a lot of things that we're doing that they are interested in.
Right.
So don't be surprised when because you're going to be in the small club groups, and usually it's a past district governor who leads them. Many of which I've known. I know Will knows a lot of them, but they're very nice. But you'll be surprised. You're going to get to do a lot of talking, and they perk up. There are things that you've done that they want to hear about. And we've had some people here and there come onto the club when I pass out cards and whatever. And if you need more cards, I know we have them.
We've got enough. We've got plenty of cards. Yeah, we're good.
Robin sent me a suitcase full. So, but I bring a whole ton of them, pass them out because everybody loves the way they look. So that would be good. We need to get you a badge, incoming president badge, because that's nice to wear. So,
Right.
just go on and we get one made now, so you'll have it ready for you. Even, president for that, year, because a lot of people wear them. So I will get that. You're going to get your new Rotary RI pin for the theme. So, and you'll get your banners. So some of those things you can send out to all of us when you come back, like the theme pins and things like that, because your HE will give that to you.
Okay.
Sometimes they give you a little present, sometimes give you a RI notebook or something too, or a bag or some cool little things from pets and things like that. But you'll be surprised. A lot of people are going to look to you, and they're going to like your comments. It was a couple years I was there, and I think when Robin was there too. So it's kind of interesting because if it kind of works for us, they're kind of like amazed. And some of them say, how can they work for an on-ground club? So
right.
I think
Well,
you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I found that out when I went through RLI too. So it was. I'm looking forward to it. I would like to have another board meeting when I get back, just to
Sure.
let everybody know.
Take some pictures. We can put them up.
We'll take lots of pictures, and Will will take pictures, and he'll get to learn about Rotary and going as my spouse.
Oh. Speaking of that, one thing I think I mentioned it to you. The Rotary Club of Wellington, they have a cool thing every Saturday. They send out kind of not a Rotary minute, but sort of a Rotary kind of question. So they might say, in the last meeting, we inducted this member from whatever, who it was, and you guess it, and you're given kind of points toward a drawing or something like that. So it gets everybody from the Saturday kind of little contest. It works really well, and I'm still on their list. So sometimes I even enter it. But it's a great way. A lot of them enter it, and it's kind of a fun thing that we can do in a blast, other than sort of our meetings and what's online. So It could be something to think about. Maybe once a week or twice a month, to do something, another way to keep in contact with people, which I think is important. And as we talked about too, we really need to find somebody IT-wise to kind of go in and really spruce up our site. I know we're all shaking our head up there. I think, was it your son or somebody who you were gonna?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to recruit my son. He's been busy. He's working 2 jobs and
Okay.
full time at college right now. But I'll keep working on him because I know he could do a great job. Speaking of well, going back real quick to pets. We get on once a month. We get on a Zoom meeting with a e-club out of Ohio, which I happen to know a couple of the members. I've known them for 30 plus years, which is it's kind of cool to reconnect with them. So we're also exchanging ideas back and forth. So
That's cool.
yeah, we're actually talking about an online pets for like e-club presidents, or at least make part of pets online available to better accommodate, you know, those of us. So we'll see. It's some people have asked higher powers, but we'll see how that works. I'll keep you apprised.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll go right into the budget. Like I've said before, Linda and Robin have been wonderful helping me with the budget. I've got it balanced with an addendum because we would like to have monies for other things, i.e. supplies. We are getting low, not tremendously low on banners, but we're getting to a point where we would like to order more at a wonderful price. We have to order a lot of them. So that's part of the supplies addendum. We can probably cover it, but it would be going into other monies. The other thing that you'll notice on there is we had Shelter Box, and Will's done some research on Shelter Box. I can have him tell you about that real quick, but we kept it as a line item, zeroed it out as far as funds, and put in another line item called disaster relief, which can go to Shelter Box if the club so desires that you know the need is really there, and we want to go ahead and put that full $1,000 towards it. And again, we can manage that. But Will did some research on Shelter Box, which I found very interesting.
All right. So some of this I've shared before. So if you want to say something, Ray? Right.
Ray?
Yeah, I've been looking at, the reason I've been glancing over, I've got the budget up over here on my other computer. My problem is my bifocals. It's difficult to look up. And but I think I heard what Alicia said about the Shelter Box. I talked to Robin the other day about we have 1,000 in the budget for this fiscal year, which we haven't spent yet. And we had talked about that before. So I'm looking at the proposed budget, and I didn't quite hear, Alicia, do we have 1,000 in for the Shelter Box or not?
Okay, right now we do not. We have it in a light item called disaster relief, which has got 675 in it, which is shy the 325. Again, especially since we didn't use the monies for it this past year. Yeah, we do have it. So we can do it if the need arises. Yeah, go ahead.
Right. I had previously mentioned that I both as a club president and a governor, I had strongly supported Shelter Box and promoted it throughout our entire district. However, when I looked to see data on what Shelter Box was doing after the Puerto Rican hurricane, I checked with who was then our Shelter Box regional representative, and I said, this is Mike Myra. I said, hey, Mike, can you give me information on how many shelter boxes were sent to Puerto Rico? And Mike said, well, I have resigned as the regional representative because when I asked that same question to Shelter Box, they said, you know, we're not supporting any G7 country. And that was astounding since 65% of their money comes from North America. So I reached out to Shelter Box via their website to try to verify if that piece of information was in fact their policy. And I have yet to hear anything back. So what I intend to do is to write them a letter by snail mail, post it, and send it over to their headquarters in England and ask them that question. Until I get a good answer on whether or not they're going to be supporting our geographic area, I am hesitant to recommend that we give them any money.
Yeah, and that's fine.
That makes.
Yeah,
I agree.
and I think I told Robin the other day that, you know, because I had been formerly treasurer, I periodically get solicited from Shelter Box, and but it's just a general solicitation.
Mhm.
And as far as I can recall, they did nothing for the Bahamas either, which was the most recent hurricane that went up our east coast here in Florida. But devastated the Bahamas. But I don't believe they did anything.
I don't think so.
I don't believe so either.
Hmm.
The nice thing with having the light item called more disaster relief is we can use that money. Like Will and I are board of directors for a long-term recovery, 3-county long-term recovery group. Yeah, Tampa Bay, or TB, Tampa Bay Recover Initiative. That covers long-term disaster relief after everybody else is gone, you know, the Red Cross and whatnot. I would like to actually get even some Terra clubs co-involved in projects locally or in the Panhandle. You know, after Michael, they're still rebuilding. So it's a means to possibly help more local economies and recovery. Local meaning we've got members, you know, up and down, primarily the East Coast, but you know, it's an avenue that we could use monies towards.
Alicia, can you do some kind of district grant?
We could, that is definitely another option.
And when you get to pets, sometimes you can talk to all those different incoming club
Right.
presidents and even foundation when you get to some of those classes. And oh wow, 2 or 3 of us, we want to do a grant, and you know you can start it right there. So
Right.
it's cool. You know, you'll meet some nice friends and just pitch them. And I guarantee you, by the time you leave, you're going to have a couple of things that you might be able to do together with some other clubs.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Robin has hands up.
Yeah, Shelter Box usually have a rep at Pets, so you may be able to pigeonhole somebody
Right.
over there and get an answer.
Great. Well, that'd be awesome. Now I'm looking even more forward to it.
They'll be. Alicia, I was gonna. Oh, I didn't get to look too much, but monies for RLI. Do we have enough moving forward with some of our new members so we get to go to RLI for 1, 2, and 3?
Well,
Yes.
we raised it up to 300. It's
Okay.
$100 per session, per person per session now. That 300 would cover 3 people,
Okay,
or it would cover 1 person and take them all the way through. So I'm comfortable with the 300.
okay.
Okay, yeah, on to our RISE student sponsorship. As y'all know, because of Suzanne and her relationship with Rye and whatnot, we did up the Rye student sponsorship to $650. That was voted on by everybody. I kept that at $650 right now as a line item in the budget. If there's anything else anybody wants to add to that. Okay, that's
Fine.
great. And we'll continue on. I have contacted Corey Young, our February speaker, and he is, as we speak, well, maybe not as we speak, but he is preparing his presentation. He's very excited about the meeting for next week. I told him he's got roughly 15, 20 minutes he can talk. Expect a 5 to 10 minute Q&A. And I will post on the thread this weekend some pictures Suzanne has sent of him, so everybody knows, you know, what he looks like prior to him talking. Okay, so we'll move on to other business, and there you go.
Yeah, I have one thing I'd like the board to consider, and we had just discussed it briefly some months ago, and that is having some sort of a Zoom teleconference meeting on a Saturday at noon to be able to accommodate our 3 members who are in a different time zone, at least 6 hours removed from us. So that would put their time around 6. Yeah, once we discussed maybe once a quarter, having a Zoom teleconference. It wouldn't have to be with everybody, but we would make that available, and that would be to accommodate those international members that are in other time zones. Now, we may add other international members, and that would be a great accommodation for future people as well. What?
I think it's good.
Oh,
I
when we had
vote.
when we had the we were just sitting in on the meeting on the Ohio E-Club. They had a member from Japan, a member in Australia, and a member in Guatemala. So they were covering all those time zones at their 8 p.m. meeting. So a lot of those people were up very, very early in the morning to make that. They were also excited about, you know, our suggestion that they have a Zoom teleconference at a time that would accommodate people in far removed time zones. So, I mean, we wouldn't have to have the entire board available to that, but I would suggest that we field test that with some promotion over at least a month for a Saturday at noon.
Okay,
Good idea.
it's a good idea.
Okay, I can coordinate that with you, Andy, and Robin and the rest of the board. You know, and we can decide on what particular month we might want to field test that idea.
Yeah. You know, I'm on the New York University Alumni Board of Directors for many years, and this week they tried the same thing. We usually meet about at 6 o'clock because we have quite a few members, but we did, I think, Monday this week at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we had a lot of people, you know, who, because they work, so they took it as their lunch hour, and we're doing more of those. So you're right. Not everybody can do an evening, you know, with commitments and time zone or whatever, but to do it during the week, 12 or 1 o'clock, or on a weekend, I think we'll see some extra
Yeah.
people.
I was just thinking that the weekend mightn't suit everybody on this side because family commitments and whatever. I know Saturday morning is busy for me out the door every Saturday, every week. It will also be worth thinking of looking at maybe lunchtime during the week, a Wednesday, whether that will work. I'd float the idea,
Yeah.
but you know, that's it.
I think Lisa, we can't hear you, Alicia.
I was just saying that I think that maybe we can take that advice and just put it out there, email a thread on the thread, and put in like 3 choices, narrow it down and say, Saturday at noon, or maybe Sunday at noon, or a Monday at noon, something like that, and see what the responses we get.
That could be. Or, another thought is if we did it, and, doesn't have to be every month, but, and again, it could work, maybe have, let's say that 12 or 1 o'clock, whether it's during the week or on a weekend, maybe I take one, and Alicia, you do one, let's say on the evening, or vice versa. So it could be the same week, or, so one of us do both, one of us do each. And if you want to come to both, you want to come to one, but we don't all have to do it. But that could be a good thing. I think that would be really good. I see Will's, but I think that would be good. And maybe even try that moving forward, that, it could be past president, it could be the president, anybody on the board doing one, or we could change, leading the session, because we know how to get on the Zoom and go through, the agenda. Because let's say I would be happy to be on both. If I'm doing one, I would know what we talked about and say on the other call, this is what we talked about, whatever, make notes, and then we can move those forward. I think that might be the way to do, because I know, again, some organizations, I work with the sheriff's office here as a volunteer, and one of the units is so big, we have over 100 members. We have a morning meeting at 10:30 and an evening meeting at 7 once a month, and we have different people going to both. So that could be the way to do it. And I think you'll be surprised how appreciative I think our Rotarians will be, about thinking about them and reaching out to them. Try it. If it doesn't work, we do one. What do you think?
Yeah, great.
The next month or two,
That's a good idea. Yeah, we could definitely work on that.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Any other new business?
Robin, what's happening with you with everything out there? Anything? What did you finally get from the? Did you tell us the Tree of Remembrance? What you finally?
We should be getting $1,000. We didn't do well this year, but I'm still waiting for the check. I talked to the guy, and he was supposed to come to Cordova Rotary this morning, and he didn't. So I'll see what happens. But we will have it in time to make sure that Alicia has it to add to the our check that we normally contribute to Camp Florida.
Okay.
So that you should have $1,600 to go there.
Yeah, I was going to say that, Alicia, we somehow get the check for you to, I've done that last couple of years. I meet up with Liz, with the governor. We take all kinds of pictures together. It'd be great. I don't know, one year I think we tried to get one of those big checks made up. I don't know if we can, one of the kind of cool big checks.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose we could somewhere, go to a printer, and it's great for pictures. You just have to talk to whoever the AG is and work with our incoming DG, but it would be great for pictures. So you just kind of have to run around and chase people, but we get some good pictures from that too.
Okay, sure. Okay, well, we're getting close to that 8 o'clock hour. I would like to propose that we do our board of directors meetings every other month.
Okay.
If there's no objection, but that being said, because Pets is next month, the second Tuesday or second Thursday of the month falls right after Pets, so I will be fresh off the presses and would like to go ahead and have a board meeting just to let everybody know how things went.
Okay.
And we'll go from there.
Fine with me.
Okay.
How's that with everybody? Agreed?
Yeah.
Ray?
Yeah.
Robin?
Great. All right.
Okay,
Good.
so it's just about anything else? Any further business? Okay, well, thank you, Alicia, everybody. Good news, and I will work on Governor Allen and whatever for that presentation. So I'll get working on that right now and see when that can be. Maybe we can tie it into, obviously one of our meetings or, something big. So depending on their schedule, I'll let you know. We can figure that out. Okay. Okay. So it's 8 o'clock. So let's do the 4-way test, and we'll start out with our wonderful new, incredible, almost president, President Alicia.
Is it the truth?
1, 2.
Is it fair to all concerned?
Okay, very good. We heard that. Number 3. Robin.
Yeah, will be beneficial to all concerned.
Ray. Number 4.
Will it?
Ray knows. He
Will
can't
it
see
be?
with the glasses.
Will it build goodwill?
Will build goodwill and better friendships. Yeah, that was 3.
Yeah, there.
So I
That's
got the 4th.
Yeah, you threw them
Okay.
off.
very good.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we threw him off.
At my age, I can mix them up a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay,
you can, and get ready to be done with the meeting.
that was very good.
It's
Well,
fun.
thank you, everybody. Thanks, everybody.
Okay.
Good call.
Okay,
And we'll
thank
talk
you.
soon.
Good night.
Anything, get in touch and we'll take it from there. Thanks,
Okay.
everybody.
Sounds good.
a
Thank
good
you,
one.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for all the information you sent.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Andy.